There's only two types of drone pilots, not 3, 4, or 5 kinds of pilots. There's only 2 kinds. There are those who fly with ND filters and those who don't. There's no in between. And in this video, we're gonna find out under which category do you fall under. What is happening, my friend? It is your boy Sean Alami, and whatever you are, you're being fabulous. That's right, you already know why we're here today from the title of this video. Should you use ND filters for your drone? And I'm guessing you already know what ND filters are, so I'm not gonna bore you with the information you already know. Should we really spend a couple of minutes explaining what ND filters are, why, so you can skip this part and bring my video retention down? I don't think so, my friend. So I'm gonna assume you already know what ND filters are, but if you keep watching this video, I promise you will find out why exactly you need them for your drones. But in one sentence, ND filters reduce the light hitting the sensor of your camera to help you follow the 180 rule, which is keeping your shutter speed double the size of your frame rate. And they also allow you to keep your aperture wide so you can have a bokeh effect in your shot when shooting with a portrait lens, for example. But ND filters are not as essential for drones as they are for regular cameras. Reason number one being, you're not capturing a lot of movement and your shots are mostly from the air where there isn't a ton of movement going on. I mean, in this example, you can't even really tell the difference, even with the movement going on in these shots, and one shot has the ND filter and one shot doesn't. So in most cases, you don't need these sunglasses for your drones because you can simply control the exposure by adjusting your shutter speed. With regular film and photography cameras, we have 3 ways to change the exposure, right? You have the ISO, the aperture, and the shutter speed. With drones, however, you only have, in most cases, I would say, you only have 2. You have the ISO and the shutter speed, but with the release of Mavic 3, we have now the variable exposure, which allows us to follow the 180 rule. And during daylight, we have perfect exposure at f11 without having to use the ND filter. Now back to our point, if your drone doesn't have a variable aperture, you can still get correct exposure by bumping up the shutter speed. This is what those drone pilots who don't give a damn about having a super cinematic footage do, or to be fair, they don't give a damn as much as the other group. Because this is where we draw the line. How much do you care about your footage? How cinematic you want it to look? You gotta ask yourself these questions. I'm telling you, if you care about how you want your image to turn out, you will probably want to use some ND filters, because I don't recommend you to use your drone in a boring manner from 100 meters above, just getting established in shot. Now let's assume we all, and by all I mean you and me, we want to fall under the category of those pilots who will always have a box of ND filters in their drone camera bag. All right, now personally, I use my drone more than just for a boring, slow establishing aerial shot. I like to fly fast and close to objects. That is why I learned FPV. But I try to even do that when I fly my normal drones as well. So ND filters are an essential tool for me personally. But I gotta say, if you wanna see those really nice, beautiful cinematic motion blurs, you're gonna have to get close. You're gonna have to put something in your foreground that moves faster than your subject. Otherwise, you don't necessarily need to use an ND filter. Now, the cinematic intro you saw at the beginning was shot on the DJI Mini 3 Pro with the ND filters that Freewell was kind enough to send me. Now, I want to break this intro down for you guys, and I want to show you what this shoot would have looked like if I was not to use ND filters. I got the sun hitting my face right now. What's going on, everybody? We are here shooting. I'm here with my man Martin, my old friend Mika behind the camera, one of the nicest German people you'll ever meet, and if you've lived in Germany, they are rare to find. I'm kidding. Yeah, so we are here. We're gonna shoot the KTM with the drone ND filter without ND filter, and this is the first shot. Martin's gonna get on the bike. Alright, I quickly want to go over my camera settings for my drone before we get started. Alright, first things first, I always shoot at the Cinelight because of a better dynamic range. H.265 for better quality if your computer can handle it, and I use a Mac, so my format is .movie. White balance manual, always. It's sunny outside, so 5700K will do just fine. Always shoot in pro mode, never use auto. Resolution 4K, 24 frames per second to give it that extra cinematic look. This time around, no ND filters, so we're gonna boost up that shutter. Because like I mentioned, this is the only way we can expose our shot properly. And the ISO stays at 100. And that is pretty much it. Now let's move over to the settings if I was using ND filter. All right, let's go ahead and bring that shutter down and follow the 180 rule. Make sure that our shutter speed is double the size of our frame rate. My scenario was 24 frames per second, so I'm gonna put my shutter speed at 50. I'm gonna turn the drone off and mount the ND filter so I don't damage the gimbal. Alright, I am using the ND64 just because it was super bright outside, and the rest of the camera settings are pretty much the same. I'm gonna get you to film me take this thing off in a more cinematic way.
Oh, boy.
Go to the second station. Go.
So tell me what just happened.
We just lost the battery like 5-6% I think, and it just force landed. It was landing on the bushes. Luckily I was able to bring it to the road. It doesn't go down in the bushes. These things are tiny, dude. Flying sports mode, so couple of lights, already at 47% battery. So if you do buy the Mini 3 Pro, make sure you definitely buy the Fly More combi. Martin, please, let's get back on the road, sir. Ian, phone. How are we doing with batteries, Mika? Now before I let you go, I want to talk about another type of ND filters, which I'm sure you've heard before, polarized ND filters. Freevo also sent me a box of these tiny little cute polarized ND filters. Now what are polarized filters? These filters are meant to remove glare and reflection from your image. And it's meant to make your picture a little bit more vibrant and saturated, if you will. Especially with the sky, it makes the sky a lot more bluer and the colors of the trees more vibrant. All right, my friend, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope by now you have a better understanding of why you would need an ND filter for your drone. If you like the way I color grade my footage, make sure to check out my latest product, custom made LUTs for your DJI Mini 3 Pro, currently on promotion. Make sure to check them out. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you enjoyed our time that we spent together just now, hit the subscribe button, my friend, so we can do this more often. And my channel just recently turned 5,000 subscribers, and I hear a lot of you saying that this channel deserves more. There's no rush, we will get there together, and I want to take this time to thank each and every one of you for being a part of my journey. I sincerely appreciate all the wonderful comments and the feedback you give me. This is what's keeping me going, and I'm proud that I have you with me on this journey. Guys, until we see each other next time, fly safe and fly responsible. Peace.
Ja. Starke Leistung.